Behind every screen and every click, there's this invisible world of digital tripwires and first responders. They're working 24/7 to protect our online lives. Today, we're going to dive into what actually happens when one of those alarms gets triggered. We'll go from a single accidental click all the way to a full-blown digital firefight.
We've all been there, right? That little moment of panic, that split-second thought where you go, oh, should I have clicked that? It's a feeling we all know in this digital age, and for good reason. What happens in the moments after that click? Well, that's where the real story of attack and defense begins.
All right, to make this super clear, we're going to follow the journey of one single, seemingly harmless click. You'll see just how fast one little mistake can snowball into a major security incident, one that requires a super fast, coordinated response.
So this is Anne, but let's be real. Her story could be any of our stories. She's busy, her inbox is overflowing, and an email pops up that looks totally legit, like it's from a service she actually uses. But lurking behind that familiar logo, a trap is being set. So here's the classic phishing attack broken down. You've got the lure, the bait, and then the trap. Anne clicks, and bam, the attacker is in. Now in a company, this is the moment the alarms go off in the Security Operations Center, or SOC. Their incident response playbook kicks into gear. Automated systems flag that suspicious download, and a security analyst's first, most critical move is containment. They have to immediately isolate Anne's computer from the network to stop that malware from spreading like a virus. Her one click has just kicked off a frantic digital firefight. Okay, so Anne's situation was a targeted little skirmish. But now, let's zoom out and look at the whole digital battlefield. Because organizations are facing this constant barrage of huge attacks. We're not just talking about stealing data anymore. These are designed to bring their entire operation to a grinding halt. This really makes the difference clear. So on the left, a denial of service, or DOS attack, is kind of like one person standing in a doorway, blocking it. It's annoying, for sure, but you can probably handle it. But on the right, a distributed denial of service, a DDoS attack, that's a whole mob. It's an army of hacked computers, a botnet, all trying to crash through that door at the same time. The system just gets completely overwhelmed. Responding to this means your security team needs tools that spot that unnatural flood of traffic and filter out the bad stuff before the whole system goes down. And this isn't just some abstract idea. The consequences are absolutely massive, and they're very real. I mean, the WannaCry ransomware attack was the perfect storm, an attack that literally ground global businesses to a halt. It wasn't just about losing data. It was about stopping these huge companies from being able to do their fundamental jobs. Get this, the WannaCry attack hit over 230,000 computers in a single day. Just let that number sink in. Think about the massive scale of that incident response. We're talking a global firefight. You have teams all over the world working around the clock trying to patch systems, restore critical files from backups, and conduct digital investigations to figure out how it happened so they can stop it from happening again. It is a crazy race against time. So, faced with this insane digital battlefield, how do we even begin to defend ourselves? Well, it all starts with building up our armor. Let's take a look at the essential tools that make up our first line of defense. First up, the firewall. And honestly, thinking of it like a castle wall is the perfect analogy. It's this digital barrier that stands between your trusted network, your stuff, and the wild, untrusted internet. It looks at every little piece of data trying to get in or out, and based on a really strict set of rules, it decides what gets blocked. It's your network's bouncer. All right, next up, the VPN. Now, think about when you're using public Wi-Fi, like at a coffee shop or the airport. Your data could be totally exposed. What a VPN does is create a private, encrypted tunnel for all your information to travel through. This is what stops those man-in-the-middle attacks, where a hacker on the same Wi-Fi is trying to spy on what you're doing. And of course, we've got to talk about passwords. I know, but this is so important. A simple, easy-to-guess password is like having a flimsy little key for your front door. It's super easy to break or copy. But a strong, complex password with a mix of letters, numbers, and symbols, now that's like a sophisticated digital lock. It makes it practically impossible for hackers to use those brute force attacks, where they just try millions of combinations. But here's the thing. Technology is absolutely crucial, but it is not the whole story. The real defense of cyberspace, when it comes right down to it, relies on people. We're talking about skilled professionals who are constantly on the lookout,
hunting for threats, and responding in real time.
So first, let's meet the villain of our story, the black hat hacker. You know, their reasons can vary. Maybe it's for money, maybe just to cause chaos, or even for espionage. But their actions are always illegal and unauthorized. These are the folks who exploit weaknesses for their own personal gain. And on the other side, you have our hero, the white hat or ethical hacker. Here's the crazy part. They use the exact same skills as a black hat, but they do it with permission. Their whole job is to find the weak spots before the bad guys do. This gives the organization a chance to patch up its defenses. They literally have to think like an attacker to build a better defense.
At the end of the day, cybersecurity is a total team sport. You've got security architects who design the defenses, and ethical hackers who are constantly pressure testing them. But right at the heart of the daily battle, in what's called a Security Operations Center, the SOC, you have the security analysts. These are the digital first responders. They're monitoring the networks 24/7, and when an alarm goes off, they are the ones who jump in, investigate the threat, contain it, and kickstart the whole recovery process. They are the absolute core of incident detection and response. So you might be thinking, okay, this is all great, but I'm not a pro hacker. Well, guess what? You don't have to be part of the solution. Every single one of us has a critical role to play in this collective defense. So let's bring it all back home to what you can do, right now. This isn't just some boring checklist. This is your personal security playbook. Every single one of these actions, using antivirus, keeping your software updated, just being a little suspicious of a weird email like Anne's was, each one closes another door to an attacker. Every step you take makes their job that much harder, and it means fewer incidents for the pros to have to deal with. You are an essential part of the defense. And that really brings us to the final thought here. Cybersecurity isn't just somebody else's problem to solve. From the analyst in that high-tech security operations center all the way down to each of us updating the apps on our phones, we are all connected nodes in this massive defense system. So the question isn't just if we're going to face a threat, but how well we're going to work together to protect our shared digital world when we do.